Hey guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. I'm Risa, and in today's video I will be sharing with you guys why I decided not to continue to pursue nursing and why I decided to work full-time as a clinical laboratory scientist instead. I know this video is very overdue, and I should have recorded it when everything was still like super fresh in my mind, so that would have been last year. But regardless, it's getting done, and it's getting done today. So I'm going to be giving you my 5, I guess, top reasons as to why I decided not to continue with nursing. The reasons that probably aren't going to be as like exciting as you think, but nonetheless, these were some of the main reasons that made me make my decision. So for this video, I hope that someone who maybe is in the same situation, or not even just with nursing but any type of career path, hopefully that this is able to help them and just aid a little bit more in their decision. Before I dive like right into the exact reasonings as to why I decided not to continue, I did want to say that if you are like, you know, struggling or just thinking about switching career paths or stopping going to school, whatever the case may be, I would say first and foremost, like the most important thing of this video is don't be afraid to be judged by family and friends. You would definitely be very surprised at who is very supportive of you. I would say when I was trying to figure out what I want to do, and when I finally like set my mind on switching career paths, just about everyone who's in my life was very supportive of it. There's maybe 2 people who were very hesitant on my decision, and one of those people now, they're very happy with what I'm doing, and the other person, we don't even talk anymore. Not because of, you know, this whole thing, but just in general, we're on 2 different paths, so like we don't even speak anymore. So definitely don't be afraid of judgment, because at the end of the day, you're the person who has to live with your decisions, and you know, you're the one who's going to be working in your career, or you're the one who's going to be going to school for whatever degree that you're going to school for. So if it's something that you think you don't want to do, or you found something else that you're interested in, don't be afraid to switch paths and go with what you want to go with, or what your mind is telling you is best for you at the time. So the first reason that I decided that I didn't want to continue with nursing was kind of in the sense that if I did change my mind in the future and I want to go back, you know, school will always be there for nursing. The world is always going to need nursing. Nursing programs are going to always exist. Hospitals are always going to need nurses, clinics, everything. Nurses is something that will never ever go away. Like, they are needed and very important in the world. So I figured that if I wanted to, you know, take my time and experiment with something else and experiment with a different career, it's fine, because at the end of the day, if I did change my mind, I could always go back into nursing. You know, I felt as though I got in once, I can get in again. I don't want to say it's not hard, but like, you know, I can do it. I have faith in myself that I could do it if I really wanted to, if I really want to continue with nursing. So that was like, you know, one reason. It's always going to be there. And I just want to take this time to explore a different career path. And like I said in my how I became a clinical laboratory scientist video, I gave myself a deadline. So I didn't just up and drop nursing. My goal was to, you know, get a job in a lab by a certain deadline. That deadline being the day that I had to accept my position into the program. And if I hadn't found a job by then I was gonna go ahead and continue with the program, because that made the most sense to me. So basically, I just want to take the time to explore something else, explore something that like caught my interest more than nursing did. So that's like one of the reasons, the main reasons is, you know, I can always go back to school. Even if it's not for nursing, I can always go back to school. So school is always going to be there. And in my second semester of completing my prereqs for nursing, I had started a full-time job because it was like a very light semester. And once I started working, I kind of didn't want to stop. I was ready to get into work mode. I didn't want to have to quit my full-time job once my program like actually started to go back to school for another. It wasn't even that long, honestly. It was probably like a year and a half, because I got accepted into an accelerated program. So I kind of, yeah, I just didn't want to quit my job to go right back into school, back to being broke, back to, you know, studying all night. I just didn't want to do it. I just wanted to, you know, take this time and work. That's what I'm doing. That's what I decided to do. And then if working didn't work out, or I decided I didn't like the lab, then I would have probably just gone right back to school for nursing or something else. I don't know, but that's kind of what the plan was. So the next reasoning also relates to money and the sense of student debt. when I was attending undergraduate, my tuition was covered, so I didn't have to really pay, you know, out of pocket for things. But then once I graduated and did decide to do nursing, I took prereqs at a community college, and then I transferred to a university out of state to finish my prereqs. And so within that short amount of time, I racked up so much debt, and it was only gonna continue once I actually started the nursing program, because, you know, nursing and school in America is expensive in general. So for me personally, the debt that I was racking up wasn't worth it. Not to say that a nursing career is not worth it, because if my schooling would have been free, I probably definitely would have continued to nursing. Like that would have been a no-brainer, to be honest with you. So yeah, for me, the student debt that I was accumulating was not worth it. I do want to go back to school in the future. I don't think necessarily for nursing, but for something else that I've kind of picked up and I'm interested in. However, the issue is I do not want to pay for it. I can't see myself going back to school for anything unless it's paid for, because I just think schooling is just so expensive, and the student debt is very crippling and not worth it. And there's people out there, you know, who have more debt than I do, and I already know how much I'm paying a month for the amount that I have. I just can't imagine those who have so much more than me. So I just don't think it's worth going to school, back to school, unless it's paid for in some sort of way, or if I, you know, pay out of pocket as I go, but that's also expensive. So I don't know, figuring everything out at the moment. But regardless, the student debt, I do not want to rack up any more student debt. So tacking on to the student debt reason, I also felt like I was racking up the student debt for a new bachelor's degree when I already had a bachelor's degree that I wasn't using. If I didn't mention it in this video, I've definitely mentioned it in past videos, and I've also mentioned it to some of you in the comments that I have a general biology degree, and I do not think that it's worth it. I would definitely say if you want to do like a biology degree or some type of science degree, specialize in a certain area. With a general like biology degree, it's very hard to find good entry-level jobs that are, I would say, interesting, I guess you could say, to me, and that also pay well. A lot of things when you have like a general biology degree do require you to go back to school and get a master's or a PhD or something like that. So it was hard, and it still is hard to find jobs with just, you know, like the general biology degree. However, I did want to put it to work because I did work hard to get my degree. My degree was not easy. My undergrad years, my school was very hard. So I did want to like try and use it in a sense, you know, put it to work. You know, I have this biology degree, and it's just sitting gathering dust. That was another reason. I know it seems super small, but I did want to use a degree that I already had. At a certain point, I also started looking up jobs in my area for nurses, and I always knew that I did not want to work in a hospital. As you know, hospitals are open 24/7. You know, there's all types of shifts. There's night shifts, there's day shifts. You're working 12-hour shifts and having certain days off and all this other type of stuff. And I wanted closer to a regular day job, 9 to 5, I guess you could say, Monday through Friday. Like that's kind of what I wanted. I've always knew I wanted that, and I know that there are jobs that for nurses that do have those day shifts, you know, doctor's offices, clinics, things like that. However, when I was going through the jobs available in my area, while there was a number of jobs, a lot of them, if not most of them, did require nurses to have years of experience, you know, not entry level, not new grad nurses. So I felt like I would probably more than likely get placed in a hospital once I graduated, and I just really was not interested in like the unnormal shift, I guess you could say, or unnormal work schedule. And that's not to say that lab jobs aren't the same way, because there are plenty of lab jobs in hospitals. However, I work in a like independent laboratory doing cancer testing, and so we work Monday through Friday. And then definitely one of the biggest reasons as to why I did not finish with nursing is because I was having doubts in general. I feel like nursing is one of those careers where you should be 100% sure that you want to go into it. And once I started having these little doubts, I feel like maybe this isn't for me. And isn't for me in the sense where like, if I want to go back in the future when like I'm 100% sure this is what I want to do, then fine, like I will go back. But if I'm having these doubts now, personally, I didn't want to risk it. I knew that I could do it, but it was more of a sense of, do I want to do it, I guess you could say. But because I had a bachelor's in biology and things were so hard, our jobs were so hard to come across, I should say, jobs that interested me, I kind of felt like, well, there's nothing else for me to do but go back to school. I didn't want to go back to school for like a master's in biology because I would still be stuck with those still limited jobs. Personally, because I was having doubts, I didn't want to, you know, risk not liking my career, risk I guess putting off bad vibes to patients that I would possibly deal with because I didn't want to be there, or I was having a change of heart and I wanted to do something else with my life. So that was like another, like probably the biggest reason, was just the fact that I had doubts in general. I feel like I should be very sure about this type of career path, and if in the future, like I said, if I'm sure, then I will go back. But as of now, I wasn't really sure about it, so I just wanted to leave it alone, let it settle for now. But that's it, guys. Those are the main reasons as to why I decided not to do nursing, because school will always be there. I didn't want to rack up student debt. I already have a degree. I wanted a regular working schedule, working shifts, and just because I had doubts overall. Like I said in the beginning, probably nothing too exciting, probably not what you were expecting. I don't know. You were probably expecting something super dramatic or super eye-opening. I don't really know. To me, these aren't like super, I don't know. To me, these aren't like anything super big, but these are the reasons why I decided not to continue with nursing and why I decided to switch career paths. But if you have any more questions, definitely ask them down below and I will answer them as best as I can. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys think about this video and what you guys want to see next. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.